What is going on, Raider Nation? It is your boy Byron, aka Raiders_1995, back at it again. Sorry that I have not been posting in a long time. Just been busy with a lot of stuff, and I enjoy these type of videos, so I did everything in my I can to do my best research and give you guys this video. And today's video is about Stanford Routt. Do you guys remember Stanford Routt? He was with the Raiders at the cornerback position. The last 2 years, he did really well in his time with the Oakland Raiders. And just the question arose, like, whatever happened to him? So today, I have that answer for you guys right now. Tell you guys about Stanford Routt. Now, Stanford Routt, it all began in high school. As you guys know, I like to take it back a little bit. So now when we go back to Stanford Routt, he attended John B. Colony High School in Austin, Texas, where he was a 2-star athlete. He excelled in both football and at track, but his best success would come in at track, as he would be an All-American selection and an All-District selection. But not only that, Stanford Routt will be a state qualifier in the 200-meter dash and in the long relay team. Not only that, in his junior season of high school, he would run the 9th fastest 200-meter dash in the whole nation. As we all know, Stanford Routt has that speed. As we all know, Al Davis drafted him because of that speed, and you can see way back even in high school that the man had some serious wheels. Now, in the year of 2001, Stanford Routt would decide to go to the University of Houston for college. During that year in football, he would only play 13 games his freshman year that season, but he would have 26 tackles, 5 pass deflections, and would get an interception. Now we fast forward to the year of 2002, his sophomore year. He would have 22 tackles and just 2 pass deflections in the sport of football, but he would put up larger and greater numbers in track. Now, in indoor track, he finished 4th in the 200 meters with a career best time of 21.73 seconds. That's fucking fast. Like I said, I'm not into track and all that, but you already know 21 seconds in anything is pretty damn fast. He also helped Houston's 4x400 meter, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, like I said, I don't know track terms like that. I'm just gonna say 4x400 meter relay team finished in 7th place at the CUSA Indoor Championships. Now, in outdoor track, Routt would finish 7th place in the 200 meters at the CUSA outdoor meet and had a career best legal time of 21.05 seconds at the Texas Invitational. He also ran the second leg on Houston's 4x100 meter relay team that would be the runner-up outdoor champions. So, like I said, balls not only on football, but he also did track. And you can already see by those stats, the dude was pretty damn fast. So now we're going to fast forward in the year of 2003, his junior season, where he would have 28 tackles, 4 interceptions, 8 pass deflections, and a fumble recovery in football. Now, in indoor track, he was an NCAA qualifier in the 60 and 200 meters. Had the season best times of 6.7 seconds in the 60-meter dash, 20.97 seconds in the 200 meters at the Hilton Memorial. Had 4th place in the 200 meters and 7th place in the 600 meters at the USA Conference Championships. Now, when you look at outdoor track, hold on, bear with me for the accomplishments this guy had in outdoor track. He earned All-American honors with 3rd place, which he finished in the 200 meter at the NCAA championship. Posted a season best time of 20.51 seconds in the semifinals at the NCAA meet. Was a 200 meter champion at the NCAA Midwest Regionals. Was the runner-up at the Conference USA meet. Like I said, it keeps going on. Was named Conference USA Athlete of the Week after placing 2nd place in the 200 meters at the Texas Invitational. which he also helped Houston's 4x100 meter relay win in a Conference USA championship. Not only that, qualified for the NCAAs and qualified with second place, finished at the NCAA Midwest Regionals. Houston would post a season best time of 39.28 seconds, while the Cougars finished in second place at the Texas Relays. Yeah, so that's a lot. It was a lot to. So you could see the boy was an athlete and had wheels, and we all know Stanford Routt was fast, especially at his time at the combine, but I'm kind of fast forwarding a little bit. Let me slow it down. And now we're going to talk about his final year in college. Now, in football, he would have 2 interceptions in his last year at the University of Houston. And as you already know, for indoor track, Routt finished second at the Houston Indoor Invitational in the shot put, which he would have the best throw of 57-10.25. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds phenomenal. And he was also a runner-up in the shot put in the Conference USA Championships. Now, for outdoor track, he was a second place finisher in the shot put at the CUSA Championships with a throw of 56.650. Like I said, I don't know what that means, but it sounds good. Finished 7th at the Midwest Regional Championships in shot put, and a first place finish at the LSU Relays in the shot put with a team best throw of 57-850. Like I said, don't know what this means. I'm just reading off the stats of this dude in college. Also finished at the TSU Relays, posted 5th place at the CUSA Championships with a throw of 150-10. Like I said, don't know a lot about shot put or nothing like that, but if they posted it like that, the stats must be great. Now after this, he decided to declare for the NFL draft. At the NFL Combine, Stanford Routt would show off his incredible track speed. Now, in the 40-yard dash, he ran a 4.27. Let me say that again. Ran a 4.27, which was the fastest time since the NFL used electrical timing. His record would be broken 3 years later by Chris Johnson, who did a 4.24. And as we all know, John Ross with the Cincinnati Bengals broke that last year. So right when they did electrical timing, he was the fastest person at the NFL Combine with a 4.27. There has been some reports of a 4.25, but everywhere I've looked, it says 4.27. So it's either 4.27 or 4.25. But yeah, the fastest one of the electric timing. Now, in the 2005 NFL Draft, Stanford Routt will be drafted in the 2nd round by the Oakland Raiders. Now, in Stanford Rout's rookie season in 2005, he would only play in 15 games and only start in 2 of those games, being a rookie and probably learning all the playbook and just getting used to the NFL. He would finish the season with 24 tackles, 2 pass deflections, and would get 1 sack. Now we're going to fast forward to the next year, sophomore year in the NFL in 2006. Routt would play in all 16 games, but like I said, he would only start in 2 of those games. He would finish the season with 22 tackles, 1 pass deflection, and would get his first career interception in his 2nd year of the NFL. So slowly starting to progress on our defense. Now, 2007, we're going to fast forward to 2007. Now his 3rd year would take a big leap. Routt would now be a starting cornerback alongside of Nnamdi Asomugha, and y'all already know what Nnamdi Asomugha was when he was with us. It was always the debate was he the best corner or Darrelle Revis? Obviously, us biased Raider fans picked Nnamdi, so now he's starting alongside of Nnamdi Asomugha. And he would see mass improvement in his numbers. He would finish that season with 42 tackles, 7 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions, which would be the most interceptions in that secondary that year. So out of everybody in the secondary, he had the most interceptions with 3, more than Nnamdi, but as we all know, nobody threw at Nnamdi's way because they knew what would happen. So we see the big progression from not really starting a lot of games, and now he's a starter, and he gets 7 pass deflections and 3 interceptions in that 1 year. Now we're going to fast forward to 2008, the very next season, and it will be sadly a decline for Stanford Routt because the Raiders would bring in cornerback D'Angelo Hall that season, which meant Routt was not going to be in the starting lineup. So now it's going to be D'Angelo Hall that was from the Falcons, and now they had Nnamdi Asomugha, and that's how they wanted to do it. Stanford Routt would play in 15 games, only would start in 4 of those games though. He finished that season with just 16 tackles and 5 pass deflections, while D'Angelo Hall on the other side would have 48 tackles, 13 pass deflections, and 3 interceptions. And now we're going to fast forward to 2009. Routt went from starting 4 games last season in 2008 alongside with D'Angelo Hall. Good news and bad news. Now, the good news would be for Stanford Routt that D'Angelo Hall would not be with the Raiders next year, but the starting job would go to Chris Johnson, not the Tennessee dude. There was another Chris Johnson, as y'all know, on our squad. So now he went from starting 4 games last year to only starting 1 game. But he would play in all 16 games, but only starting 1 of those. Stanford Routt would finish that season with 29 tackles and just 5 pass deflections, while on the other side, the guy who was supposed to be basically took his starting job, Chris Johnson, he had 18 pass deflections and 3 interceptions. So now we're going to go to 2010. So here's what it looks like now. Stanford Routt, his first 2 years, didn't start that much, didn't get a lot of playing time. His 3rd year, he starts with Nnamdi on the other side, and he has 7 pass deflections and 3 interceptions, which was the most interceptions in that secondary that year in 2007. Then 2008, they brought in D'Angelo Hall, and in 2009, he lost his starting job to Chris Johnson. So now it's starting to look like a bust pick until 2010. 2010 would be his best statistical season as a pro and a Raider. He would have one of the best seasons that year. Now he started 15 of the 16 games, and now starting again with Nnamdi on the other side, just like in 2007 when he started with him, a lot of great things start happening. He had 55 tackles, 13 pass deflections, 2 interceptions, and 1 pick six to score a touchdown and 1 forced fumble. Not only that, but the best stat out of all that, Stanford Routt had the 2nd lowest burn rate out of all the corners in 2010. Also, with him only allowing 39.4 of those passes completed on him. So the receivers he was covering, their passes that were being completed on Stanford Rout's side was 39.4%. That's basically 40% of the time the receiver was catching it on Stanford Routt. But the other 61%, he was locked down, especially in man coverage. And he was the 2nd best in the NFL during that year in 2010. Do you want to know who had the lowest burn rate that year in 2010? And I told you guys, Stanford Routt had the 2nd lowest. And who had the lowest that year, you ask? Darrelle Revis. And y'all already know Darrelle Revis in his prime was one of the best damn corners in the NFL. Even looking back on it then, I love Nnamdi, man, but who was the best? It had to be Darrelle Revis, who was locking people down. And he's in the same stature as that guy in that burn rate category. So Stanford Routt was letting people know that he isn't a bust, that he can actually play football. He isn't just this dude that just has a ton of speed. He has a lot of ball skills with it as well. Not only that, with Stanford Rout's help, the Raiders defense had the 2nd best passing defense that year in 2010. Teams were just averaging 189 passing yards on Raiders defenses that year. So let me say that again. teams, when they would play the Raiders defense, they were only averaging 189 passing yards. And that secondary had Stanford Routt, Michael Huff, Tyvon Branch, and of course, Nnamdi Asomugha. So they had the second best pass defense in the NFL that year, while Stanford Routt had the second best burn rate out of all corners. So Stanford Routt was showing people he can play in this game, and he is a baller. And hopefully this defense could be like this for years and years to come. Next year in 2011, sadly, all of us Raider fans know that Nnamdi Asomugha would sign with the Philadelphia Eagles in free agency in that offseason, which meant Stanford Routt was now had the responsibility of being the number one corner in that starting lineup, which meant it was him. Now, it was a great thing when it was Nnamdi and Stanford Routt, but now Nnamdi's no longer there, so now Stanford Routt is going to have to hold it down on his side. During that season in 2011, he would finish the season with 49 tackles, 15 pass deflections, and 4 interceptions. These are both career highs for Stanford Routt, with 15 pass deflections and 4 interceptions. Not only that, Stanford Routt had the most interceptions on that defense that year. The only knock on Stanford Routt that year was he did lead the league in defensive pass interference penalties in that year in 2011. But like I said, he was the best corner on the team, and he had a lot of talent, and us Raider fans knew about that. Now, unfortunately, after the 2011 season, Reggie McKenzie, new owner, comes in. One of his first moves that Reggie McKenzie made was releasing Stanford Routt, obviously because we had no cap space. But I think it was like I said, I didn't want him to go, and I was mad when it happened, but this is a business. So unfortunately, after all that, Stanford Routt would no longer be a Raider after the 2011 offseason. Now in 2012, during the offseason, Stanford Routt would decide to sign a 3-year deal contract with the AFC West rival and most hated rival, Kansas City Chiefs. But unfortunately, Routt would only play 7 games for them and be on the team for basically just 8 weeks. In those 7 games, Stanford Routt had 21 tackles, 4 pass deflections, 2 interceptions. One including this interception right here on his former team. Of the first play of the game, this happened right here.
Blocked by Valdir, going deep and looking for Hayward Pay, and picked off by Routt. Stanford Routt, the former Raider, released and signed by the Chiefs and brought down by Cooper Carlisle. A pickoff on the very first play of the game.
So we told you they were going to go after Stanford Routt, and this is just Carson Palmer giving Darius Hayward Bay an opportunity to make a play on the ball. You have to high point the ball. Hayward Bay never comes back to it. In fact, it's Stanford Routt who plays the ball better than Hayward Bay.
Now, in November of that year, 2012, the Kansas City Chiefs decided to cut him out of nowhere, whether it was due to he couldn't adapt in the system or it had to do with the team salary cap. I don't know. I've looked up a lot of reasons of why he was let go. I still can't even, I don't even know why the Kansas City Chiefs let him go during that season. But in December of that year, Stanford Routt would have a workout with the Houston Texans and did so well in his workout with the Houston Texans that they signed him that same exact day. Now, he would only play in 2 games with the Houston Texans, but he would not record any stats with them. So he played, but he didn't record any stats. And unfortunately, that would be the last time Stanford Routt would play in the NFL. And after that, no other teams picked him up. After all that time, Stanford Routt would now retire. But what has he been up to now? He is now currently a college football analyst. He's been on radio shows for Houston. He's been on NFL Network. And what I like about Stanford Routt is if you go on his Instagram, he always pays homage to the Raiders and always pays homage to the great late Al Davis, the man who drafted him, because we all know Al Davis loves speed, and we know Stanford Routt had that. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. I wish he could have still been with us. I know Stanford Routt knew how to work in the man-to-man system. I felt like he was a better fit with our defense, but yeah, man. I remember Stanford Routt. I used to love Stanford Routt, especially the last 2 years he was with us. In 2010, we really started to see him blossom and develop as a great player. In 2011, loved what he did for the football team as well. But unfortunately, we had to cut him because the salary cap was way, way, way too high, as y'all know. And we had to get rid of a lot of players that had high salary caps. So it is what it is. But I want the Stanford Routt, if you're watching this, man, I want you to know that you are not a forgotten Raider with us. The Raider Nation will always rock with you. Thank you for everything you did with your time with the Oakland Raiders, man. I really appreciate it. And just being a great football player and a classy football player. And I appreciate everything you did for the Raider Nation. And also, guys, go follow him on his Twitter and follow him on his Instagram. And you already know to use that hashtag. So if you guys can't, and it didn't work out the way it should have, but hey, it is what it is. And I just want to let you know that this team will always love you, man. Thank you for everything you did, Stanford. And not only that, let me get a big shout out to the Nation One on Instagram. He's the one that does the thumbnails and the pictures for these videos, man. I'm gonna set up a link in the description, and also here's his little thing right here. Follow this dude. By far the best Raider edits I've seen in my life, man. I've hit him up in the DMs. He's a real cool ass dude, man. If you guys need anything with pictures wise or whatever, hit my man's up, man. And I've been even telling them that he should be doing the edits and the team edits on the Raiders actual Instagram account. I think they should hire my boy, to be honest, because this shit looks too damn dope. But yeah, man, thank you guys, Raider Nation, and I will see y'all in the next video.